Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into let's think here. I think it's about edition number 6 or so of mmjhl Game Day here on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. I'm your play-by-play commentator for this afternoon's matchup. Graham the G-Show Forsyth here between the Stonewall Jets, the home team, and the St. James Junior Canucks, the away team. Let's take a look at some results from this second week so far in the league. It started off with a close game on Thursday night with St. Vital winning over the Raiders Junior Hockey Club. They would get them in the back-to-back a day later, winning 6-4. St. Vital in action along with all the other teams in the league today. St. Boniface and Charleswood remain as the only undefeated teams in the league so far, as River East felt the Charleswood in a close one 3-2 on Friday night. But there's a look at the standings, and this is an unfamiliar sight here in the past 3 seasons. St. James with a last place record right now, 0 wins. Their goals, 4 goals against, not looking too pretty. But it is a long season, of course. 42 games remain, and for the Stonewall Jets, I mean, looking to bounce back after their first loss of the season in their home opener on Thursday night. They got a hot start from Bateman so far, 5 goals, 1 assist, leading the way. And their special teams is booming right now. About 27%, just over that on the power play, over 90% on the PK. And out of their 9 goals, 4 so far, a lot of that has come on the power play. So this game today, if they can get the Canucks to get into some penalty trouble, it could bode well for Stonewall. As for the St. James Canucks, well, it's been polar opposites from the past few years. Instead of starting off as one of the top team in the league, they sit at 0-3, last in goals for, last in goals against. Finally scored for the first time on Friday in that blowout loss to the Twins, 9-3. So I guess that's a silver lining. And they are getting a piece back today in forward Payson Butler, but still no Rory Neal. And for St. James, you know, not every season is going to go exactly how you planned it to. This is a start for them that I don't think anybody really expected, but now you're here. You can't change anything about it. And how do you respond moving forward? How do you look to build those good habits in your game when everything seemingly around the team right now is so negative in terms of the stats and the record, right? This team, I think, if they can start to get their speed and transition game going, that would be huge. But the problem has been that they've been hemmed in their own end for most of this season. So how do you clear the zone more frequently? How do you, establish more zone time and more shots in this one against a Stonewall team that's going to get in those shot lanes, that's going to make it tough on you, and is going to get their chances their way with their offensive talent that they have. We are just about to get both teams out here on the ice. This game starting at 3 o'clock today instead of 2:30 p.m. We all thought it was going to have the puck dropped on it at 2:30 p.m., but this has been the MMJHL pregame show brought to you by McCann Fasteners and Tools, Scan Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Terrico, and Goaltenders. This will conclude our pregame show. The Zebras make their way onto the ice now. The Jets and Canucks will follow. Enjoy the game, everybody, here live from Stonewall, Manitoba. On G-Show Productions, your home for Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League Game Day here in the province. Well, sorry there, folks, for getting going a bit later on the announcing. We were just making sure our stream was okay. Had a spectator come up to us as well, asking us what kind of operation we got going on here. Yes, for now our games are free to watch for the Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League season. We're live here from Stonewall, where the Jets, 2-1, going up against the defending champion St. James Junior Canucks, who are still looking for their first win of the season. Quick shot scores from Stonewall to get the scoring started on this Sunday afternoon. Carson King puts home the loose puck, making this a one-goal lead early on here with not even a minute 30 gone. And for Stonewall, getting on the attack early on, getting established, shots towards the net. That second or third opportunity too hard for Murphy to handle. And with that, in this game, brought to you by Mick Cannon Fasteners and Tools, Terrico. So we'll have a face-off inside of the Stonewall end. Draw one by the Canucks. Enerson from the point. His shot tipped and deflected out of play. And another icing on the play brings the puck back into the Stonewall end of things. Thank you for choosing G-Show Productions for another mmjhl game day production. Working through some lagging issues right now. And Murphy gets another Cover up here. Shots 4-2 in favor of Stonewall early in this one. So they also got the 1-0 lead courtesy of Carson King. So out to take the draw, Rylan Slatcher for this Jets team. As it'll be won by Grindle for the Junior Canucks. Junior Canucks work this puck up. Judry, who ends up not being able to maintain possession of it. Back on it now. Judry takes a tumble at center ice. It'll be Slatcher. Sends a puck over to number 10 in Caden Stewart, who sends a pass across in the direction of Kaczorowski. But it'll be taken away by Grindle. Grindle skating, loses the puck for a split second before sending it in deep. And putting pressure on Braden Bear, who goes D-to-D with Chang. Chang plays a pass up to Kaczorowski, who sends it into the middle for Slatcher. Slatcher takes a bump. Stonewall able to keep this puck out of their own end for now as it goes back to Bear. As he looks up ice. Bear continues to skate with it, with some trouble getting this puck up. Plays a pass up to Kaczorowski, who sends it in deep. Back into the neutral zone now, picked up by Austin Larenko. Larenko fans on the dump attempt in. Stonewall with possession. That shot turned aside by Murphy. That shot from Larenko blocked by number 10 in Degagne. Degagne looked like he would continue, but decides to hold back. Hayden Bateman, a player we talked about so much, makes a move, passes to Emerly. His shot just high of the net. What a chance there created from this top line. As the early stages of this one continues. He played up to Degagne. Degagne just sends this one out, chasing this puck down, trying to get to it first as Caden Jartanson canceled the icing, negated it, because the effort was so good. But it'll be Stonewall who gets the puck in deep again. King going off for a change. As Bateman will still be out there. As this puck gets sent out of play. Trying our best to have our second camera angle going here this afternoon on mmjhl game day. Something we'll be offering in some games this season, when we have the crew available, of course. But the draw will be to the right of Murphy, won by the Jets. Back up top to Chipman. His shot low, turned aside by the paddle of Murphy. He's down back into the Stonewall end. Kai Parker, first one on it, takes a bump. And it's turned over onto Romanek's stick. Romanek decides to send this down low. Up top to Isaac Martin, who goes to the point, and that shot ends up being blocked. Thorstensen just sends it in deep, playing catch with the Jets defender. He'll be back onto the stick of Romanek, who tries to take this wide, tries to cut it in now, but he'll be stopped up by Kai Parker. A Stonewall able to get the puck out of the zone again. Turned over now at the Canucks blue line. Save made by Murphy. That shot coming from number 27 in Kai Smith. Of course, we got some former Canucks in this game. Kai Parker playing on the Canucks last season, getting traded at the trade deadline, as he's now on the other side to start off this season. As this puck gets sent in, starting goaltender today will be Spencer Hunnam for this Jets squad. Got to see Dylan LeClaire in action last week. Oh, that pass goes to number 4 in Newcomb, but he didn't have a stick. Ends up being a turnover. That shot through from Bruce. Or from Phillips, that is. It'll be gloved and turned aside by Hunnam. This game brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Located on Milt-Seagull Drive in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Be sure to check out their store and also visit their website at cancentralsportscards.com. Slatcher turned over to Kaczorowski. His shot gets blocked on the way through. Nice job by Phillips. Back up to Slatcher now. He tries going backdoor with the pass. Decides to feed it to a D. That shot won't get through from Larenko. Turned over down low in the Canuck zone. Now a Jet gets squished up along the boards. Stonewall still trying to maintain this forecheck and pressure, but they can't. Long shot gloved down by Hunnam. C leaves it for one of his teammates as we get transition going into the Canuck zone again. Misplay from Murphy, almost there. Bateman is right there almost to get the puck and put a shot on net, but nothing resulted out of it. Grindle from just before the blue line sends a puck in off of a Jet shin pad. Bateman stripped just before his own blue line of the puck. Gets sent down low to Larenko. Turned over, playing catch. The two teams are in the neutral zone now. St. James trying to get on their forecheck. Height will be sticked aside there by Larenko. Now outlet pass up to Amberley, to King. King trying to feed it back to Amberley, but that pass is off behind him. Amberley tried to make something out of that opportunity too, but could not quite do anything with it. Cale Chipman, with not much space, just decides to send it in on net, where it'll be covered up by Murphy. As the lag continues here. Have to bear with us here this afternoon, folks. When we broadcast here last year, connection was giving us no problems, but a bit spotty, so 10:07 left on the clock. Face off back inside of the Canuck zone. Shots 8-5 in favor of Stonewall as they got the lead so far in this first period. 1-0 courtesy of Carson King, who's out there battling off of that face off. Loses it to the St. James player. Is coming down. Having a player heading to the net. It's Speechley. Comes down to help out his fellow Canucks teammate. But no use as Stonewall comes down the other way on the attack. Bateman to the net, trying to go backdoor feed to King, but couldn't connect with him. Tries passing it back into the slot for King, but could not. King down low, going to work off of his skate, kicks it up to himself, makes Grindle go down to the ice with the move. Played up to the point again, shot wide of the net. As this puck just gets out past Larenko, onto the stick of Bear and back to Bateman, who down the right side tries playing this to the middle but can't. This will be picked up by the Canucks. And Speechley turns it over onto the stick of Bear. Bateman tries dropping. Back a pass. But Connaught had it intercepted. Larenko sends it in deep to the stick of a Canuck. Giving chase, Griffin Height. Kaczorowski, first one on it. Chang just banks this one out, and it's on to the stick of Finley Titterson, who Titterson spins around, maneuvers past the check-in of Carson King. Here's a turnover and tight, and Chang can't quite bury it. He's coming out to challenge him in his own net was Connor Murphy. Who, if anything, I mean, if you're going to get a spark, could you be looking for your goaltender to give you a game where he just steals one? Something that, we'll have to see if Connor Murphy is capable of this season. Of course, playing against a team that, for the most part, and we've seen to start off, has been having to play mostly in their own end. This team has tried to get their opportunities off the rush and stuff like that, but nothing is really materialized in a positive way for the Canucks. So if you can get contributions, a big one from your goaltender in this game to give you some confidence, could bode well. Chang, some good hand-eye. Batted that puck mid-air, sends it all the way down for an icing now. We got a stoppage, 7:57 remaining. This game brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards, Memorabilia, Midcan Fasteners and Tools, Terrico, and Goaltenders. As Thorsteinson tries to poke this through the legs off the draw, almost was successful, but turned over. And onto the stick now of Slatcher, who makes a nice move at center ice, feeds a pass off to Chang. Chang looks to drive to the net. Backdoor pass now into the slot. Chang maneuvered his way through everybody. Just couldn't connect on the pass. Chipman from the point now. Maneuvers past Romanek with a move. Backhand to the net. Doesn't quite get there though. That's Kaczorowski giving number 17 and Isaac Martin some troubles at the line there. Kennedy now trying to come in and take the shot, but he has that puck poked away. As the Jets decide to go D-to-D trying to work this puck up. Almost got by Griffin Height cleanly, but didn't. Loose puck picked up now. Kennedy dropped into the slot area for Coleman. But good back-checking defense by Degagne. This puck in the corner. Stonewall trying to drive it to the net, but they can't. It's back up to the point. That shot, rebound there. Murphy sprawling off the side of the net. And this one stays out for now in the Canucks zone as they break up. Trying to chip it past the other way was Degagne, but he got stopped up by the stick of number 10 and Caden Stewart. Stewart giving chase on this puck in the Canucks zone. Ends up back into the neutral zone. Short pass towards the blue line. And offside on the play. As Jack Derrick was sent with a pass. Sent across to Newcomb. Newcomb, he delays before shooting, and that shot hit off of something before making its way wide of the net. Phillips, his short pass, almost intercepted there by Newcomb. Ends up back to the point. Larenko, his shot turned to the side into the backboards. As out in front, low slot, pushing away at the puck, but it's turned aside again by Murphy. With 5:49 remaining in this first period of action. Now Murphy's had to be sharp and tight on these shots all afternoon long so far. Not even 15 minutes exactly into this period. For St. James, you know, they've been able to make it into the neutral zone. It's just been more of a problem of, once again, establishing the offensive zone here. Maybe they get a chance now. Shot quickly on net. Rebound not given up there by Hunnam. Face-off will be to the glove hand side of number 1. Cole Emberley taking the draw against Grindle. Grindle wins it to Bruce. Bruce backhands to the net. On net now. That shot Hunnam ends up covering things up again. 14-9 the shots. Probably 14-10 now the shots in favor of Stonewall after that most recent one from St. James. And looking to tie a man up. Almost trouble in front of the Stonewall net there, but they're able to clear it out. Sent up to Emberley. Has King with them. Kicks it out to King. Tries dangling past a Canuck, but couldn't get through. Lorenko now sidestepping. His shot gets blocked on its way through by Isaac Bruce. As now Lorenko feeds this one cross ice. Bateman trying to make a move on number 14 and Brady Thorsteinson. As from the slot, that shot just deflects over the net. Wraparound try now for St. James from the slot. That turned aside. Coming from the stick of William Brooks. The St. James team now working the puck into the middle again as that shot turned aside by Hunnam from the slot. Some newcomers setting the pace a bit here for St. James. William Brooks hard on the forecheck all over the place on that offensive zone sequence. Saw finishing off with a shot, and Hunnam just covers things up to get a breather in play for his team. Something that, you know, we haven't seen much of in total from St. James as of yet in this game. Was some good sustained offensive zone time. They're back in their own end now. So it goes D to Enerson. Enerson passing to the middle. This one a bit of trouble for St. James. A Stonewall was covering. It's back into the Stonewall end now. They play it out just as quickly, though, as it's deflected back into the St. James end of things. Rimmed around. Gets to the point, but not quite out yet. It finally does. As Chipman for Stonewall just before the blue line decides to send it in. Opposite side of the ice. Now turned over in neutral ice. That shot, Romanek coming down the left side, turned aside by the right pad of Hunnam. Down low, Slatcher being pressured by DeGagne. As he was bumped up a bit, Kaczorowski will now chip and go, trying to get past Enerson. Strong on his stick, somehow gets a shot off, and Murphy had to be sharp on it. Kaczorowski has proven to be a very good forechecker here early on in this season for Stonewall. We saw how useful that ability was in the insurance marker goal and this team had in their first win of the season last Friday night against the Raiders Junior Hockey Club. That backhand gets turned aside by Spencer Hunnam. And with that, we got another face-off inside of the Stonewall end. Shots almost even at 15 apiece now. 15-13 in favor of the Stonewall Jets. That shot through, but gets deflected as it makes its way past. Into the corner, now out of the zone. So it'll be Phillips who goes D to D. Number 21, Aiden Warfield. Warfield plays it up to Tarjanson. Tarjanson, short pass over to Height, but an offside on the play. will bring this face-off just outside of the stone wall end of ice. This draw will be won by the Jets. Some physicality before this puck gets sent out of play. Face off won by the Canucks. Bruce plays it up to number 15 and Carter Judry. This puck back in and an offside on the play. With exactly 2 minutes left on the game clock here in period number 1. You're watching Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League Game Day here on your home of mmjhl hockey for the 2024-2025 season. G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. As D-to-D, the Canucks go play this up into the neutral zone. Judry tries finding someone he thought was breaking to the net, but no one was there for the Canucks. As this puck sent in deep again. Speechley, like he would be the first forechecker on it, but it's Stonewall. He breaks out the other way. Emberley has King, passes it over to him. Backhand will be turned aside there by the Canucks as it's played back into the neutral zone. Into the direction of Emberley, but past him. That bank pass went from the close corner up top to Bear. That shot deflected on its way through. Can't quite get to the net yet. Poked away by Murphy in his crease. As we're into our final minute of the first period of action. Taking this in is the Canucks. Payson Butler in the lineup, wearing number 17 for this squad. As Romanek will draw a penalty here coming up. High sticking on the play. So it sends number 25 and Jack Derritt to the box. So for the rest of this period, for as long as we don't see a goal from St. James, of 44 seconds of power play time to work with. This game brought to you by Make-Hand Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for your industrial needs. Visit their store locations in Winnipeg and Brandon today. The Canucks, along the half wall, work this up to Phillips, who tries to push this back down low, but cannot. Tied up along the boards, a few players from each side trying to work away at this. In the corner now, Larenko being pressured by 3 St. James players. St. James still unable to make it out cleanly, though. Butler out there with someone else, ends up back to the point. Phillips, his shot can't get through. Coleman with a nice block. As the horn sounds, and we head to our first intermission in this one, in what has been a laggy Sunday so far. Once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else may be watching. We're hoping that it continues to improve throughout this game. There's really nothing we can do about it. Something going on with our camera. I believe our camera operator has to move so people can get by here. But yeah, in this period, I thought that Stonewall started off really strong. Had most of the pressure, most of the offensive zone time. But as this period went on, St. James started to get their game rolling and started to look like the St. James we have come to know in the past 3 seasons. Started to get their cycle game going, good on the forecheck, and some good puck movement in the zone. Getting some prime scoring areas in the slot there, and even getting some chances off the rush. Stonewall talked about them, their attention to detail in the defensive zone in terms of getting into shooting lanes. I think could be a huge benefit for them in this game against St. James, and we saw that a few times with them sacrificing the body and taking away shots that could have been, dangerous shots on net that Hunnam had to save. So if he didn't get those blocks, we are going to take it to a quick break here during our intermission, our first intermission here from Stonewall, Manitoba. The home team, the Jets, up 1-0, but shots 15-4 here only in favor of the Jets. They're also on the penalty right now, a minute of 17 left on the Canucks power play, coming up here on MMJHL Game Day on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. Welcome back into the Stonewall Veterans Memorial Complex here from Stonewall, Manitoba. In this afternoon game on mmjhl Game Day on G-Show Productions, brought to you by Make Cannon Fasteners and Tools, Kent Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Terrico, and goaltenders. It was an early goal for Carson King in this one to open up the scoring. Shots were 15-14 in favor of the Jets after that first. It was King's first of the season, assisted by Emberley and Cale Chipman, a minute 24 into the game. Jack Dara took the only penalty in that first period for the Stonewall Jets. 2 minutes for high sticking at the end of it, so still a minute and 17 of power play time left. Coming up here for the St. James Junior Canucks, who really got their game going as that period made its way to its conclusion. Stonewall was owning them in shots, and then as that period went along, St. James started to get more possession in the offensive zone, got on their cycle, and started to get more quality and more quantity with their chances. For St. James in their pipes and the net today for Connor Murphy, looks like he's continuing to get more and more confident as this season starts to get going. Got more confident as that period went along. Of course, was good on his rebounds and good at just fighting to keep that puck out of the net. That's something that St. James will want to see continue here. I'm sure their goaltender continuing to make the big saves. As for the rest of the league, a lot of afternoon games going on today. There's only one night game, which will be played at Terry Sawchuk Arena between the River East Royal Knights and the Fort Garry Twins. But as for the games outside of this one, Charleswood and the Raiders Junior Hockey Club tied at 2 apiece with 8:30 left in the third period. 29-15 the shots there for Charleswood. Coutrie and Penner with the goals for the Hawks. Kushner and D'Souza with the goals for the Raiders. For the Victorias and Rayler Express, this game being played at East End Arena. Currently, we see the Rayler Express up 3-2. Led 2-0 after the first. 2 goals for St. Vital in that second period. 1 for the Railers in that second. So we go into the third period there. 25-14 the shots in favor of the Rayler Express. And then finally to the other game that's going on right now. St. Boniface looking to improve to 4-0. Up 2-0 after one, or heading into the second period shortly here against the Pembina Valley Twisters and owning the shots 19-8. As for this one, as mentioned, 15-14 the shots in favor of the Stonewall Jets here on mmjhl Game Day. Edition number 6 here this season on the network. It'll be St. James on the power play to start things off. 1 minute 17 remaining on the Jared high-sticking call. And with that, we have St. James who send it into Stonewall's end. Loose puck picked up. Thorsteinson, his shot turned aside by Hunnam. In this Canucks team continuing to hunt down these loose pucks. Stonewall will want to make sure to continue or to get back to having cleaner puck movement in their own end as this game goes along. Of course, over 90% on the penalty kill to start off this season. This has been a real bright side for this squad in terms of their special teams overall. Haven't been on the power play yet today, as that puck ends up into the Canucks bench. For Blake Harris, first-year head coach in this league. He's been on this Canucks staff for the past 2 seasons as an assistant. I'm sure he, preference to this team before the game that, hey, we'd rather not spend much time in the penalty box this afternoon. Oh, that rebound there turned aside by Hunnam off of the stick of Height. As it's worked back up to Enerson. Goes up top to Phillips. Phillips, he unloads. His shot deflected maybe But a clean save made by Hunnam again. With 28 seconds remaining on the Canucks man advantage. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of a conversation it was from Blake Harris before the game about his team just trying to stay out of the box, not give this Stonewall team many opportunities with the power play. As they're hovering close to around 30% here in their first 3 games of the season. Nice stick there from Slatcher, who ends up having St. James have to come out of the zone to regroup off of delayed offside. This gets sent all the way down deep again into the Canucks zone, and with that, some good opportunities on this power play that continued on from late in that first period. But no goal still for St. James as this game remains 1-0 in favor of Stonewall. Shots now 16-15 in favor of the Canucks. That turned aside by Murphy. Dangerous chance from high up in the zone. Hyde couldn't make it past one of his own teammates' stick as this is turned over. Kaczorowski going to the net, gets taken down. Just like that, we'll be seeing our first power play of the afternoon for the Jets. As Kaczorowski continuing to move those feet and be a handful for teams to defend him heading towards the net. Of course, he scored that insurance marker to make it 4-2 in Stonewall's 4-2 opening season win last Friday on the road against the Raiders, where he just lifted the stick of a Raiders player, took it away, and took the puck to the net. The silky move for a goal. Continuing to be aggressive, heading to the net and driving there. Good stick so far from Kaczorowski this afternoon. Stewart up top to Stoven. Stoven ends up to number 14 and Cale Chipman, who plays this down low to Coleman. Second unit out right now for the squad, or it might be their first power play unit as Bateman's out. Stewart from the point. His shot can't get through traffic. Loose puck. Bateman, Emberley can't get on it. Bateman is on it now. Tries sending it into the low slot for Emberley, but can't get it there. Puck held in at the Stonewall line. Stewart now working his way in. Takes a tumble, a spill below the boards. Or Finley Titterson is pressuring him. Titterson now battling with Bateman along the boards. Puck squirts up to the point. Back down low. That pass misses 2 Jets at first. Now onto the stick of Emberley, who takes some physicality before dishing this up top to Stewart. To Stoven. Down low to Bateman. Oh, almost a tap in there from Coleman. Off of the pass from Bateman. Under a minute left on this power play now. It's been Stonewall working it around with precision. Bateman into the skates of Coleman now. But he maintains possession of this puck. Coleman gets this puck back on his stick from the corner. Trying to spin around. Decides to send this down deep. Kaczorowski can't get to it. But it's back up to the point for Stewart now. Short pass to Bateman. His shot tipped by Kaczorowski in front. Rebound cleared away by the Canucks. Trying to rim this out, but can't still. Stewart holds the line. Going across to Larenka, who just steps on the ice. Tries dropping a pass back. Stonewall unable to hold the line as St. James finally gets it out. But the Jets make their way towards the net. Bateman to Kaczorowski scores! He brushes off the blade of his stick, too, a bit cheeky on the celebration, but hey, when you score like that, you earn the right to celebrate like that. Nice heads-up play by Bateman to send a cross-ice pass over to an open Kaczorowski. Holds on for just a second before letting this shot go to pick his spot on Murphy. And that pressure, even though they didn't score on the power play, that pressure from Stonewall. It's a huge reason for why that goal is scored, forcing a turnover near the Jets blue line, where they have the numbers to take advantage, and Stonewall lets that go in. It's St. James, who scores from the point. Wilson beats Hunnam from up top. With 15:44 remaining now, number 5, Tyson Wilson finds some space under that, in between the blocker and the right pad of Hunnam. Maybe there was a bit of traffic in front too that maybe took away a bit of Hunnam's sightlines. Turned over into the St. James end now. As they play a D-to-D. Wilson, most recent goal scorer in this game, surveying up. Turns it over, though, onto Bateman's stick. Bateman sent it down low as this gets rimmed around. Stonewall activating their defenseman into the play there for just a moment. It's passed up to Degagne. Has height down the left side with him. Degagne has nowhere to pass to, just decides to turn away to evade the check-in for now. Degagne now gets on Bateman, takes the puck away from him. Has it on the backhand, tries sending the pass down low to Height, but can't get it there. Wilson covered King well in the neutral zone. It's back onto the stick of Bateman now, who's surveying options. Bateman, short pass to King, almost for Kennedy in the slot, who had a wide open net to shoot out if he was able to get that puck on his tape. This goes down for an icing. Shots 19-18 in favor of the Jets. That top line continuing to make things happen. As Kennedy takes the draw. This puck played past the stick of Smith, who was first on the forecheck for Stonewall. Kennedy up top to Chipman. His shot gets blocked. Huge one there from Romanuk. As Romanuk out there along with Height. Height looking to force a turnover. He does. Onto the stick of Romanuk now. Romanuk gets tied up along the boards and allows for Stonewall to break up. Smith has the puck taken away from himself. It's a short pass up to Payson Butler. Payson Butler trying to dangle his way past. Down low into the corner. Butler being there with a teammate as this puck gets worked up top. That shot turned aside by the glove of Hunnam. With 13:42 on the clock, shots now even. The face-off won there by the Jets, or by the Canucks. That shot can't quite get through from Isaac Martin, who I said he was wearing number 17 earlier. He is in fact wearing number 27. 17 is Payson Butler. As from the point, that shot gets deflected on the way through. So will be played up the boards, and now onto the stick of Payson Butler as Butler works his way in, cuts to the middle, loses the puck for a moment though, as it's turned over into Stonewall's possession. Played up now to Newcomb. Just dumps this pass, number 18 in Aiden Bruce. So now it'll be Aiden Warfield who picks up this puck. Short little pass to Martin, who just past the blue line, sends this in deep. So this gets rimmed around. Taking a spill there, number 15 and Carter Judry on the point. Bruce, his shot gets blocked up. Trying to spring Chang, and he gets that pass sprung. Chang loses possession of the puck. Backhand wide of the net. So it must have caught a sticky part or something in the ice. A bad patch at that. As Chang was sprung with that breakout pass, looked like he was gone. In fact, wasn't. As this gets past D to D. Stonewall into the neutral zone now. Onto the stick of Chang, who goes across ice. to Kaczorowski. Drop pass to Slatcher, has that poked away by the stick of Bruce as St. James flips us out. As the Canucks get onto the attack on the forecheck. Evading the pressure there was Stonewall. With the pass out as this puck gets by DeGagne onto the stick of Slatcher. He stops up. Maybe not the best idea as a Canuck was coming down hard on him, and DeGagne picks up a stick again, tries chipping this pass. This puck sent down low. It's onto the stick of Kaczorowski. Kaczorowski tries to feed a pass through the slot to Slatcher, but could not. All the way down this puck goes. No icing on the play into the Stonewall end. With 11:11 remaining on the clock, the second period of action. With the most recent goal, Tyson Wilson in this game for the Canucks. St. James still down by 1, though, as they get an offside called on themselves on this play. As top line back out for this Jets team. Griffin Height out to take the draw against Emberley. Draw won by Height to Enerson. Passed across to Wilson. As Wilson just sends this in deep. Taken away by Tarjanson. To Height, low slot. Couldn't get a shot away. Tarjanson back on it. Circles up. His shot can't get through. Off of that block. Another block from Stewart. As now this allows for Stonewall to go down 2-on-1 developing. Bateman going back door. King decides to shoot off of the noggin of Murphy. The shot was so good it created our stream to lag here. So we wait for things to get back to normal. And there we go. King felt that passing lane wasn't quite good enough to make it over to Bateman, so decided to shoot. Getting sent with a breakout pass out was Butler behind the back pass, but can't connect with his teammate into the neutral zone. Kennedy against Grindle on the draw. Kennedy for Stonewall, loses this to Grindle on the Canucks. Banked up to Judry. Judry cuts to the middle, trying to cut to the outside again, does with the move, runs out of space before keeping the puck down low. Turned over though, as the Jets try to make their way out. Onto the stick of Kai Smith. Smith fakes to the outside. Running out of real estate, though, as the Canucks hard on him. Smith back with the puck in the neutral zone. Gets a backhand pass across to Kennedy. Kennedy, his shot on net. Not that dangerous as Murphy turns it aside into the corner. Now Larenko, fresh onto the ice. Ends up sending a pass through. That gets there to Kai Smith. His shot turned aside by Murphy. Didn't get the most of the shot on its way there. So I believe Phillips got a stick in the lane. It's across to Thorsteinsson. That pass from Phillips can't get through the shin pads of Kai Smith. This puck ends out of play. And we'll get a face-off coming back into the Stonewall Jet zone. In mmjhl Game Day edition number 6 here in 2024. Brought to you by Mick Fasteners and Tools, Terrico, Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. The draw will be a tie-up won by this Canucks team. Thorsteinsson turns this puck over, gets it back though. Here goes Brady. Has a man heading with him to the net. His shot turned aside by Hunnam. As at the line, Titterson, his shot hits a body, floats into the glove of Hunnam. So we got another stoppage in play, another face-off inside of the Jet zone. Trying to press for that go-ahead goal. It's been one of the best games, I'd say the best game St. James has played so far this season. The first 4 that they've had on the schedule. But Stonewall's still been dangerous, especially that top-end talent. So that second line out, they get caught for an offside. As Kaczorowski complaining with the referee, the linesman. Yeah, I think the linesman making his case that, well, I had my hand up that was a delayed offside. You didn't clear the zone. Slatcher against Height, the 213s, won by Height. Played up by Bruce. Before the red line, though, as it hits no one on the way down, so it's called for an icing. So all the way down this draw comes back into the Jet zone. Or into the Canucks zone, that is. Face off won by the Jets. Save made by Murphy. Off of that shot from Kaczorowski. Cross ice. Stewart jumped up into the play. Short pass. Couldn't connect with Kaczorowski. Upon the zone. Turnover there. Rebound. Oh, Murphy able to make the save. Sprawling out to make it for his team. It's Degagne who comes down the other side of the ice. It's loose puck now. Picked up, held in at the line by Titterson. Titterson makes a move before making his way up. Gets taken down. No penalty on the play. As it's a 2-on-1 developing. Now a 2-on-2. That glove down by Murphy off of the shot from Kaczorowski. On the rush, St. James doing a better job as this game goes along of getting back on that back check and taking away the options that the Jets have for themselves. On the rush, draw one by the Jets, now onto the stick of Carson King. As this gets sent up, Romanuk muscling his way through alone. His shot turned aside by Hunnam. Huge save from number 1. That shot turned aside from a sharp angle this time. At the point now, Wilson sends this in deep. Butler there with Romanuk. Romanuk sends this in front. Catches a piece of Hunnam. As this line still out there on the back check. Bateman to King. His shot off the stick on the way through. Goes out of play. We'll get another face-off to the blocker hand side of Murphy. Right after that glorious chance that St. James had, as you could just see, Bateman coming down with speed. Cuts to the middle so aggressively and maintains that top-end speed. And creates a chance for this Stonewall team. Good job by the by the Canucks defense to get that stick in the shooting lane. A shot was just put on net in the Jet zone by the Canucks. Hunnam didn't like his options to play the puck too, so with that we got another face-off inside of the Stonewall, and Grindle out to take it against Kennedy. Kennedy wins it. D-to-D, the Jets go below their own goal line. Played up to an outlet man. This one now blocked, hitting the body of Kennedy. As Kennedy tries sending the pass to the slot for Smith. Smith sends this down low. As Coleman is in the area, puck sent out of play. By the Canucks. It's times like this when I wish I had a bit more height. It's been tough to see from this vantage point up here in these stands. But we've been trying to manage. Thank you for sticking with us through this broadcast so far. We've had a few moments where the stream has been lagging. But it seems like the problem has sorted itself out at this point. As this puck gets rimmed around. Activating up into the play. Braden Bear keeps this puck down low. It's on to the Canucks sticks now as they send this into the neutral zone. Not quite into the Stonewall Jet zone. Slarenko sends a pass up to Emberly, who deflects it in to King. King plays a pass across to Bateman. That nice defensive play by Isaac Martin. To skate in the lane on that pass that was going into the slot. Stonewall back with it in their own end, looking to play this puck up in the neutral zone. They do, but Height takes this puck away, chips it to himself. Has someone going to the net, tries getting it there. It would have maybe found the stick of Caden Jartanson. Pass played up to Bateman now, building his speed through the neutral zone. Tries to dangle past Bruce, but a nice stick there from number 18. As Bateman, short pass to Kennedy, backhand just over the net. From down low. Taking a bump down low now. Puck unable to be held in by this Jets defense. And with that, we got a whistle. Stoppage in play here. 4:26 on the clock. Both teams pressing for that next goal. In instances in this one, it just hasn't quite come yet. Either the pass isn't quite good enough, the goaltender's up to the task on the save, or simply these two teams taking away those areas of the ice really well. As we got another face-off inside of the Canucks zone. Or in the Jet zone, my apologies. Offensive zone opportunity for this Canucks team. Tipped on it, oh, rebound. I couldn't get a handle of it. There was number 16 and Trent Thorsteinson. Kai Smith tries to bank this inside of the net. But no shot registered. D Stonewall goes. Played up to Stoven, threads a pass in the middle to Coleman, but couldn't cradle that hard pass. Onto the stick of Bruce, plays it over to Titterson, who fans on the pass out, but ends up working out for him as it's back into the Jets' end. Going cross ice now, Coleman into the skates of Kai Smith. Smith pokes this one past Titterson, down low into the slot. He tries going for Coleman, but can't find number 22. Titterson now looking to go for a skate down the right side. Oh, stands up to Parker afterwards, land a reverse hit of some sorts. Thorsteinson, his shot deflected on the way through from the point. Romanuk gets tied up down low. Butler in there to help out. Romanuk unable to continue with it as he has this taken away now. Onto the stick of Kai Parker as he goes for a skate just before the blue line sends this in deep. Kai Parker still down low. Backhand to the slot. That shot through. Rebound there. Loose puck. Oh, what a save made by Murphy. Sprawling out to take away that left post. It's still Stonewall controls. Chipman from the point. Just catching a piece of that shot was the glove of Murphy. Now Georgie able to get out. Passes across to Romanek. Georgie heading to the net. Romanek's pass can't get back there. Trying to jump for that puck to cover it up was Hunnam, but unable to make the pop fly. As it's Stonewall who gets back on their horse. Coming down the other way. That shot deflected and into the netting. With 2:02, or running time now, I suppose. Since this game did start later, so... Or maybe it's just a mistake. Seems like it was actually a mistake as they've stopped the time now. Gonna have to wait as we get this sorted out. 1:53 added back onto the clock. Or that's what the clock is showing. Not an additional minute 53 seconds, but that's the official time now. On the scoreboard here in Stonewall, is this draw won by the Canucks, but taken away by Kaczorowski. Just before exiting the blue line, Chang goes down low. Kaczorowski tries whipping a pass in front to Slatcher, but that one can't go. Larenko has the puck stripped away from him. Has it stripped away again by Tarjanson, but good job by Larenko to stay on the check in there. Sent in deep now past the red line. Murphy out to leave this puck. Plays a pass to Phillips. Now short pass to Height. Height, his pass misses number 10 into Gagne. It's a bit too much mustard on it. Coming up on the final minute of play here in this second frame. We'll have some analysis coming up during the intermission, as well as an update on what's been happening around the rest of the Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League on this Sunday, as all 10 teams are in action today. Only one night game today as well. So it'll be Phillips who sends a pass to Tarjanson. Onto the stick of DeGagne, who DeGagne gets cut off. Now wheeling around is Stewart, whose pass is missed. Now onto the stick of Romanek, who Romanek waits, delays, passes to Butler, tries dangling his way through Emberley, but couldn't. Speaking of Emberley, he takes a pass here from Stoven. Emberley across to Bateman, unloads, just high of the net for number 44, which was looking for his 6th of the season. 24 and a half left on the clock. His top line remains out for the Jets. Trent Thorstensen gets tied up on the draw by Emberley. Has good support as his teammates able to help him out. And maybe potentially one last chance here for St. James. Puck missed. Is target of the pass, and Romanek. Both teams go to battle down low here. One more chance potentially for Trent Thorstensen, but has that taken away by Stonewall in front. And with that, we head into period number 3 with a one-goal game again. It was 1-0 heading into this period. As for the goal scorers, we'll get that to you right away. Was Kaczorowski from, as we load the stats, Kaczorowski from Peyton Bateman and Caden Stewart, 3:59 into the period. And then not even 20 seconds later, it was Tyson Wilson scoring his first of the season, assisted by Griffin Height. Only one penalty in that period, coming to Brady Thorstensen. 1:54 in. We'll have the shots updated for you right now, actually. 27-24 in favor of Stonewall. We'll have updates from around the league and some analysis of the second period and the second intermission coming up on MMJHL Game Day shortly here. Brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Make-Hand Fasteners and Tools, Terrico, and Goaltenders. Welcome back into the Stonewall Veterans Memorial Complex here, or Sports Complex from Stonewall, Manitoba. In this game that we may see its conclusion coming up here in period number 3, it's been, close as things have gone along. Only 2-1 the Jets lead, looking for their third win of the season to go 3-1, and the Canucks still looking for their first win of the year, but playing their best game of the season so far. Both teams in the past period, both had their opportunities, their chances, as we take a look at the updated shots from that period. 12-10 in favor of the Stonewall Jets. The goal scorer or scores in that period, just to get you guys reacquainted. Alex Kaczorowski scoring his third of the year, assisted by Peyton Bateman and Caden Stewart at 3:59 into the second frame. And for Tyson Wilson, he would end up cutting the lead in half shortly after, not even 20 seconds after, assisted by Griffin Height for Wilson's first of the year. But yeah, I expect for this period again to be close as we make our way to the conclusion of this one. Expect for St. James to, come to Stonewall hard throughout this period as they look to continue to establish their forecheck and their cycle game, as we saw in that second and in the later half of that first period. But yeah, as for the rest of the league, we only have one undefeated team remaining, and that is the St. Boniface Riels as of now. They're up 3-1 after 2 periods at home against the Pembina Valley Twisters. The Charleswood Hawks falling in overtime to the Raiders Junior Hockey Club at the Seven Oaks Sportsplex for the Raiders' first win of the season. They improved to 1-3-1. And as for the Vicks and the Railer Express, it would be the Victorias who would win it in overtime. 5-4 over Transcona. It would be Carter Lee with a hat-trick performance for the Vicks in this one. Tyler Rubini with the winner, assisted by Lee and Blake Goretzky. So a huge game for number 20 for the Victorias. For Gary and River East are the only teams left to get going tonight at Terry Sawchuk. This game right here, the Jets versus Canucks, one of the final afternoon games going on right now. Still in the league with 20 more miles to go here with period number 3 coming up. Will it be the Jets who hold on to win their third of the year, or will it be the Canucks who get in the win column for the first time this season? As we start off with a beautiful leg in this period. Did not miss much there, folks, as both teams still trying to establish some zone time off the rush. Height, his backhand just high of the net. This turned over to Emberley as he kicks it out to King. King's pass behind Bateman and turned over into the Jets, or into the Canucks possession. Height chips it in off of his stick for this Canucks team as they look to get on the forecheck. Height, first one in the corner, plays it to the side of the net. Romanek will pick up the puck. He pays a shot off of The blocker of Hunnam, as that long pass up to Romanek now has 4 Jets coming down on him. His shot can't get through. Blocked by Bear, has his stick whacked away as well. As this goes all the way down into the Jets, or into the Canucks zone for an icing. Kaczorowski beats man to it though, gets taken out in front of the net. Kaczorowski is down. Hunnam went to the bench as the Canucks touch the puck up. As they go to the penalty kill here for the next few minutes, it'll be Trent Thorstensen. 2 minutes for a trip, they're calling it. As the Jets go back to the power play. Of course, over 25% heading into this game this afternoon. Around that 30% marker. St. James now as good a time as ever for a big-time penalty kill. Lourenco down low, passed across, that shot turned aside by Murphy. A nice tic-tac-toe setup from this Jets team, who didn't score in their first power play, but sure generated a lot of positive momentum, which ended up leading to that Kaczorowski goal. Slatcher protects the puck, shields it, passes across to King. King works his way into the zone, protecting the puck, but loses it, sent all the way down, where Hunnam will come out of his net to leave this for Lourenco. Lourenco passes off to Slatcher. Skating down the right side of the neutral zone, pass to the middle to Kaczorowski. Draw pass to King, who sends this all the way around onto the stick of Lourenco, who backhands this down low to Chang. Chang below the goal line for Kaczorowski. He works his way up before shooting the shot that deflects out of play over the netting. So this actually ends up being a 4-minute power play for this Jets squad. For a team that works it around as well as they do. This extra time, definitely appreciated. Bateman at the point, passes across to Stovin. Stovin goes to Stewart. Stewart now to Bateman, who's calling for the puck, tapping the ice with his stick, but fans on the shot. As this gets played all the way down again into the Jet zone. And nice move from Stovin in his own end. Spinorama on Jordry before passing it up to a teammate. That gets played across upon entry by Stonewall to Bateman, who wheels around the net. Passes to Emberley. Emberley back up to Stewart. Stewart back to Captain Emberley. Emberley decides to send this down low where there's a bunch of space for the Jets to work. Nice move using the net on the dangle was Coleman, who plays it up top to Stovin. Stovin, D to Stewart. His shot unable to get through cleanly. Bateman can't get that loose puck. And going down the other way, it's Grindle. But that puck way too far for him to catch up to, as Hunnam came out of his crease aggressively to play it. That potential shorthanded chance for Grindle going out the wayside. The golden rule in hockey that we got to remember, right? The puck always moves faster than the player. No matter what, really. Unless maybe you're Connor McDavid or an absolute speedster. As Lourenco shielding the puck along the boards, gets this up top to Slatcher. Slatcher into the feet of a D-man, and that's a bad break for Stonewall as it's played up to Speechley. Speechley driving to the net, backhand, unable to register on net for a shot, as good defense on the rush there from Stewart. Speechley was coming down hard on him. Under a minute left on this Stonewall power play now. D to D, it goes to King. King, his shot, might have hit the knob of Murphy before going into the corner. Back up top to Lourenco. It's into the low slot. Chang there gets disrupted, and St. James has this one cleared all the way down again. As now Stonewall will have a bit of patience before working this puck up. Slatcher now dumps this in. Tries to chip it to himself, but loses possession of the puck. Along the wall, and this gets sent down again, where Hunnam once again leaves it for a teammate. All in all, even though there were some good chances for the Jets on that power play, some good puck movement, St. James had some shorthanded chances, and overall stymied this Jets' lethal power play attack. On to Height, his shot deflects on the way through to the net, just missing the glove of Hunnam. As Height comes back into his own end to scoop this puck up, trying to dangle past a few Jets, sends a pass up to Butler. Butler's short pass goes to Titterson. Titterson sent one to Romanek, who sends it in deep. As Titterson heads to the bench for a change now. Meanwhile, the players still out for the Jets, trying to defend here against Height, which they did well. This pass out in front. It's back into the neutral zone and sent into the Jet zone again by this Canucks team. Romanek, first one on it, beats Chipman to the puck. His pass hits the back of the net, though, intended for Height. Romanek with some help from Height, able to scoop this loose puck out from the point. Rebound there. Height can't put it away. Romanek now with the shot. Can't get through. Somehow stays out. Another one from Wilson as that's blocked from the point. And that attack from St. James almost coming through for them there. In tight around the net. Height couldn't put it away. Stretch pass up to Bateman, but unable to clear it cleanly. Bateman catches up to it. Tries passing it in front, low slot to a teammate, but couldn't get it there. It was covered up well by St. James. As both these teams continuing to put chances, shots on net. Both of these goaltenders locked in, really concentrated on these saves to make them. And getting some help in front too from their defense, just clearing the puck away. That low shot turned aside onto the stick now of Isaac Martin, who can't quite clear it out. Phillips will be first one back on it down low. So that gets played to William Brooks. Brooks threads a pass through the legs of a Jets player all the way to Brady Thorstensen. Thorstensen couldn't cradle the puck to hold on to possession of it as the puck is back in the Jet zone. Along the half wall, that puck gets stopped up into the corner closest to our broadcast angle. Now we can see the puck come out, as is Larenko, who sends it over the glass and out of play. So we'll get a face-off inside of the Jet zone. As that went out cleanly. That's Trent Thorstensen to take the draw for this Canucks team. Wins it, but Degagne unable to get a stick on that face-off win, as Stonewall clears it out. D to D. Canucks try going. That was into the skates of Titterson. Sent back down low into the Canuck zone again. Titterson this time turns the puck over onto the stick of Kennedy, who keeps this below the ringette line. This gets passed out to Romanek. Couldn't cradle it cleanly, though, as this gets sent in deep to the Jet zone. Coming up on half a period to play here in the third. Passed up to Smith. Smith cuts to the left. His shot, oh, not what he wanted on it. As he puts it into the breadbasket. Using that Canucks logo as the target that time, as Murphy covers it up to get another stoppage in play. 10:46 remains. 31-25 the shots in favor of the Jets, as they'll get another offensive zone face-off draw. Emberley wins this to the wall to King. To the point it goes. Shot turned aside by Murphy. As Titterson trying to play this out, but still can't. So you hear a whistle go there. We get another stoppage in play. With 10:28 remaining, Jets still up 2-1. In the corner, almost in front. A stonewall chance for Emberley, but turned aside by the Canucks as Enerson spins off of Chipman. Chipman took a spill to the ice. Speaking of Chipman, he'll skate with it now. Has two teammates with him. Goes to Bateman. That pass in his skates ends up back on the stick of Chipman. Up top to Emberley. His shot through, deflects there. King trying to search for the rebound. Shot turned aside by Murphy. King this time turned aside again as he circled back up by the blocker of Murphy. Down low, Bateman threads a pass. Now goes over to Chipman. His shot deflects through, ends up into the opposite corner. Oh, Bateman putting on the moves down low, in tight. Oh, can't get that out in front. Off the passes, this is turned over. Speechley sends it in deep just before the blue line. It'll be Stonewall who recovers it. Turned over just outside of their blue line. So we'll get another stoppage in play. With 9:20 remaining. The Jets up 2-1 here. Looking for, of course, win number 3. Which already off to a better start in this season compared to last year. Of course, started off 0-6 or so. Got better as the season went along under Pat Power and his staff. Their first year in Stonewall last season. But they just got off to a bit of too much of a slow start, which ended up costing them in the end as they ended up missing the playoffs by only 2 points. Very close in the standings last season, and huge hit laid on there on Braden Barrett or Jansen colliding with each other. As Kaczorowski down below plays it into the low slot, trying to find Slatcher but could not. Long saucer pass out now, hits Larenko. Acted as the decoy there. This puck sent into the Canucks zone again. Kaczorowski able to strip this puck away. Side of the net, sharp angle. Murphy able to keep this puck out. As now trying to dangle past is Romanek with one hand. Trying to keep it to the outside. He blazed the shoulder on Kaczorowski down below as him and Kaczorowski go to battle. Stewart along with Degagne both out there too, trying to help in the corner. This shot sent in deep wide of the net. In the backboards for St. James. Newcomb now, just before the blue line, sends this in deep. Murphy out of his own net plays this to Titterson. Titterson across to Trent Thorstensen. Thorstensen got it into the neutral zone, but taken away right away by the Jets as they break up the other way. Jarrett leaves a drop pass for Newcomb. Newcomb works it down low, spins away from the check-in of Titterson, tries to spin back, loses the puck onto the stick of a teammate now. That shot from Parker from up high at the point. It's up not going. Two players collide with each other, Degagne and Chipman in the neutral zone. Let's both get back up unscathed. Stonewall sends it in deep again. Over 7 minutes remaining in this one. Stonewall, good pressure here. Continuing in this period. Shot from Kai Parker at the point, turned aside by Murphy. For St. James, they've been close at times, but overall not having their way in the Stonewall Jets zone. They've been defending them well off the rush. and keeping their shots mostly to the outside for the most part. William Brooks spins away from the check-in. So we'll see a high stick here coming up, which means we'll get a face-off. Just to the right, the blocker hand side of Hunnam. And with that, number 16 going to the box, and Nicholas Leclerc for high stick, and sends St. James on to the power play for the next 2 minutes. A power play that, of course, has struggled to open up the season along with everything else really in the stat category for the St. James Junior Canucks team. Has a chance to go to work here. Romanek gets shot off the crossbar. Might have been tipped on the way through too. What a bullet, a rocket there from Romanek. That shot, not as dangerous from Brady Thorsteinsson. That was an aggressive shot. You could hear that ping clearly from up here, just like I was beside it, to be honest with you. Romanek absolutely ripping that shot as we lag again at the perfect time. That shot off the stick of Phillips, turned aside again by number 1 and Spencer Hunnam. Carson King to take the draw against Griffin Height. Height wins it off the forehand. Goes to Phillips. Across to Enerson. Back up top to Phillips now. His shot through, but turned aside again by Hunnam. Phillips had Romanek wide open on that left side. Decided to shoot it. If you can somehow create a tic-tac-toe quick one-timer up top with that triangle setup, you're able to get that shot through, that could be dangerous. I wonder if that's going to be the play. You know, if you kick it out to Romanek and then he kicks it back just as quickly to Phillips, something like that. Oh, they try a cross-ice pass to Romanek, but that doesn't go. Covered up well by Stonewall. That shot blistering over the net from Enerson. It's back onto the stick of Romanek. Backhand pass down low. Oh, nice stick by Hunnam to take away that lane to the net from Height as Stonewall. Good job early on here on their penalty kill. Actually, under a minute left in the penalty kill for them. As Brady Thorsteinsson has this stripped away by Peyton Bateman. How's Emberley with them? Bateman dangles. Oh, what a move from number 44. Turned aside by Murphy. And he is absolutely electric. Number 44. It's going to be so much fun getting to see how many points this guy truly puts up. Speaking of, Bateman takes a spill into the corner, comes back in to deliver a two-hander. Oh, that shot turned aside by Hunnam as Griffin Height scooped up that loose puck from the pile and got loose. One of St. James' players you don't want to leave alone is Height, pretty electric with the puck, fast, shifty player. He's created some good scoring chances throughout his time here with St. James. Phillips coming back out. We've seen some power play chances and shorthanded chances here on this Canucks man advantage. Loose puck there, Sutton that banging away at it. It's loose again. Grindle can't get that puck through. Plays it up to the point to Phillips. 4 seconds remain on the power play. Back to even strength now down low. Speechley has that puck knocked away from himself. It's played again to the slot, but that one can't connect with Speechley this time. Or with Georgie, as I should say. Bateman cutting to the net, draws a penalty. That speed from number 44 really making a difference in this one. A Stonewall gets back to work on the power play here coming up. Grindle couldn't keep up with him. This face-off won here by the Jets. Played across to Stoven. Stoven, his shot through, almost deflected into the net there, but turned aside by the Canucks. That shot from a sharp angle by Chang turned aside. Backhands this to Slatcher. Plays it to Stewart. Stewart almost has that taken away from an aggressive penalty kill from the Canucks up top in the zone. Able to force this puck out. Across to Stoven, who sends it across to Chang for an icing. But yeah, this sequence coming up here is huge. If the Canucks can get a good penalty kill, they still have a puncher's chance in this one, right? To potentially send it into OT. If Stonewall is able to generate good momentum on the power play, even if they don't score, we saw what happened last time, which ended up giving them a go-ahead goal, just as power play time expired. So for St. James, keep this puck down low, eat it as much as you can. Just don't allow for this Jets team to set up. As Titterson, right down. That's the idea right there. As not giving this Jets time to set up on the man advantage. Pressuring is Thorsteinson. Trent, that is. Allows for Stoven to skate this puck out. Kicks it out wide to Slatcher. As Slatcher able to muscle his way through. Protecting, still able to muscle his way up the boards. And remain unscathed. This puck up top to Stoven. His shot through. Oh, I don't know if Murphy caught a piece of that. But he keeps it out nonetheless. 2:42 remaining in this game. In this third period of action. Coming up on under 30 seconds remaining in the power play now. Bear, his shot on loose rebound. Oh, kept out by the Canucks. Might have hit a stick before it got to Murphy. As down low, Emberly plays this up top to Larenko. Larenko down low off the backboards. It's time about to expire on this Jets power play. Good pressure sustained and put on them here in the last minute of it, though. King able to come away with this puck battle. One plays it down low to Emberly. Tries playing it out in front for Bateman as the Canucks clear and send this one out. Shot high of the net. Rims out again. As it's Height. He gets this in deep just before the blue line. Chipman plays a pass past him up the boards to Bateman. Bateman cuts to his backhand. Cuts back to the forehand to Emberly. His shot turned aside by Murphy. Tries getting a short pass out to Bateman in front again. As it'll be Emberly who gets hit along the boards before sending that puck out of play. Those two have been a treat to watch today, let me tell you. Especially late now, Emberly getting in on his chances too. That top line, with a lot of skill. One of their top goal scorers last season, Carson King, who opened up the scoring today, playing on that line. As the Canucks, Blake Harris calls a timeout. And it's going to be interesting to see what is going to be happening here. There seems to be confusion about if this timeout was even called or not. And looks like there was no timeout, so we're going to get back to play here very shortly. 36-31, the shots in favor of Stonewall. They lead this one by a score of 2-1, trying to improve to 3-1 on the season. For St. James, still looking for win number 1 coming into this game, 0-3, but playing a lot better today, which I think is the biggest improvement for a team that has done a lot of winning these past 3 seasons. For Stonewall, able to muscle his way through his Stewart. 3-on-1 developing. Right of the net it goes. As the Jets catching the Canucks, kind of lacking on that one. on that chance. We'll see a penalty here coming up. And wondering what we're going to get here in terms of penalties. Very tough. I wish we had a camera down there to mic these coaches, these refs up, to see the conversations they're having. The head referee goes back to the penalty box. G-Show Productions, as for us, our broadcast week is about to end, but don't worry, we'll be back for 4 games in 4 days next week, starting off on Thursday night at the St. Vital Centennial Arena, as the Vics welcome in what is the only remaining undefeated team in the league currently in the St. Boniface Riels. Puck will drop at 7:30 p.m. from the Centennial on that night. We got Ruby Netchwaduk, Connor Davis, trying to think of who else. So much star talent from both sides that'll be going at each other on Thursday from St. Vital Centennial Arena. But with that, we have the Jets on the penalty kill for under a minute here left in regulation. Stonewall, currently 4 guys out to St. James 6 as they pull the goalie. Phillips kicks it out to Romanek. Back up top to Phillips. Dangerson in his skates, though. Couldn't let that one-timer go. Back to Romanek. Phillips goes down low for Height. Height, his pass. Defended well there by Coleman. As now it gets up top, back again to Phillips, to Romanek, into the slot, covered up well, bouncing puck, almost beating Hunnam, but he keeps that one out somehow, as this puck cleared out of play. 17.4 seconds remain on the game clock now. One more push, one more chance for St. James here, maybe 2 if they're quick enough. As we get another timeout.
Jets have called their 30-second timeout.
This time from the Jets. But St. James, I mean, look, I get it, you're trying to play that puck into the slot, but it's something that Stonewall's been covering up well for, the majority of this game. So, in my opinion, overload the front of the net, get shots from the point, get some traffic in front, take away the eyes of Hunnam, because even on that last chance when Romanek had that shot close in on that left side, like, it almost found mesh, right? So, here we go. Height still have to take the draw against King. Height wins it. Back up to Phillips. Phillips to Romanek. He almost deflected on the way through, but that doesn't go for Stonewall. Side of the net, Height banging away at it along with his teammate in Grindle. Hunnam has it covered up though with 6.9 left in regulation. Another chance potentially for St. James. Do they have what it takes to potentially take it to overtime? One to the boards. Fandon on the way through. Height scores! Griffin Height with 2.2 left on the clock. Sends this one to overtime this afternoon. Oh my word. What just happened here from Stonewall? St. James, all game long, has been pressing. They've been battling away for their scoring chances in the Stonewall zone, and Griffin Height has all the time in the world to deliver this one. They give him too much respect, play too far off of him. with 2.2 seconds remaining, folks. We got a tie game, and for St. James, their bid for their first one of the season is still alive. We're going to play a 5-minute overtime, 3-on-3. If that doesn't settle anything, we go to a shootout, where each team will get 3 shooters each, and then depending on what the score is afterwards, we either continue or play on. But all game long, right, St. James was getting their shots on net, just not quite able to get that rebound, or not quite able to get that good puck luck on that, shot that's been intended to score. And you could see Height before he let it go. A bit of hesitation, a bit of patience. Picks his spot perfectly, and now we're into overtime, where it will be the St. James Junior Canucks who win the draw and possess it. Romanek out there with Enerson and Height. For Stonewall, Bateman, Emberly, and Stoven. Coming down with speed. Griffin, Height, driving to the net. Stoven, good defense on him. Enerson steps up into the play, being battled along the boards with Emberly. Emberly, good from him. Able to get that puck away as Stonewall starts out on the breakout. Bateman threads a pass over to Stoven, but just behind a bit, as he could not cradle the puck to make a move in front of the net. Up top to Carson King. Emberly already out there, or off for a line change. Stoven goes off for a line change as well to get Stewart out. Played up to the stick of Griffin Height, who's back checked hard there by number 12 and Carson King, who picks up this loose puck now with some space in the neutral zone to skate it. King decides to pass this, cross-ice pass picked off, and here's Ashton Romanek, has Butler with him. Romanek shoots, big save made by Hunnam on the breakaway chance. Now here comes Bateman coming down the other way, has a man with him in Stewart. Bateman off the side of the net, and we play on as Bateman down low. Off of his stick, that puck bounces. Bateman takes the check-in along the boards. And a penalty coming. Potentially, yes, a penalty coming here to Ashton Romanek. And he is not happy about it. Saying some words you cannot say on TV. But that gives Stonewall a huge advantage. We talked about it in the pregame, right? Like, if St. James loses this game off of this, we talked about it. Discipline, staying out of the box. You don't want to give Stonewall those opportunities. And for a team that hasn't scored on the power play yet in this game, they still have been getting some good work around as they're on a 4-on-3. Laranko to Stewart, across to Bateman, and it skates back up top to Laranko. Controlling through this triangle. That shot wide of the net from number 10 in Stewart. It's down low, it's Bateman with it. Bateman up top to Stewart, across to Lazarenko to Stewart. Now across to Bateman, but that pass can't be connected on with, again, St. James keeping them up top. That shot blocked. Huge sacrifice to the body there from Bruce as he's back on his feet. Huge from the assistant captain. Larenko, his shot blocked again. An absolute wall right now in front of the net for St. James. That to Bateman. Across slot. High of the net. As Slotcher gets tied up with Trent Thorstensen in front. Bateman fakes up top. Larenko, his shot high, or wide of the net, hits a part of the boards which bounces into the ceiling. Overtime's been eventful so far, ladies and gentlemen. Very eventful indeed. 2:23 remains in this extra time period. 53 seconds remain on the Romanek penalty. We saw it drawn by Bateman. Bateman not out there right now. It's Emberly along with Stoven, King, and Kaczorowski. Bateman, or King, his pass can't get across to Stoven as Stoven surveys. Little Saucer pass over the stick of Grindle completes it to Kaczorowski. Kaczorowski now in with speed, driving this wide around the net. Evades the check and up top to Stovin. To King. His shot, almost goes, but Murphy getting just a piece of it to keep it out. King, who started the scoring, almost ended it in this one. Protecting along the boards. King spinning away from pressure of Titterson. Power play almost expiring here. King from the side of the net. His shot turned aside by Murphy. Four seconds remain on this power play. A minute 34 left in overtime. Could we be seeing a shootout in this one? Both teams having some chances early on to finish this one with some rush chances, some bad puck management from both of these sides, resulting in a chance for one another that both Spencer Hunnam and Connor Murphy were up to the task on. Back to even strength, 4-on-4 play for the time being until we get a next whistle. Bateman able to beat Ingerson to the puck, almost gets it to the slot where Slatcher would have been wide open. The game on his stick. Slatcher checks the player before heading to the net. To Bateman, to Slatcher, backdoor, but can't connect with him was number 44. To Bateman, breaks the stick, what unluckiness from number 44. 37 seconds remain here on the clock. Griffin Height, the most recent goal scorer, forces a bit of a turnover. He's heading to the net now. Romanek tries sending it to him, but he was covered up well. And now here's Stonewall, potentially one more chance. Stovin has Slatcher with him. Stovin is shot off of the blocker of Murphy and into the backboards. Stovin to Kaczorowski in front. That shot off of the glove from the backhand of Murphy, making that save. Saucer passed out, and with that, folks, we head to shootout. Like mentioned, 3 shooters each side will at least get to go, depending on what the score is after from each side. We're going to get 1 shooter each until, we got some sort of a score and finish things off here, right? Well, yeah, just to clarify that, say there's 3 shooters for each team that have gone, and say none of them have scored, and say Stonewall's the first team to go, which I believe they will be since they're the home team, and they score, St. James would have 1 more shooter, and they'd need to score to keep the game going. If it were the scenario where, again, we have 0 players who have scored after 3 shots each, and the team that's first up to shoot in round 4 misses, and the last team up in round 4 scores, then that team who would score would win. But it will be St. James who actually goes up first up here, the road team, as it will be Payson Butler. Silky moves this kid has. He decides to shoot, and his shot will be turned aside there by Spencer Hunnam. On to shoot will be Cohen Chang for this Stonewall Jets team. Power forward, has some silky moves too. He fans on it this time though, as that is never something you want to have happen as a player in a shootout. Anything but that. I'd rather just miss the net by quite a bit than have that happen, to be honest with you. Always sucks when that happens, and for Griffin Height, he's got the moves. Comes in, looks to shoot, and that turned aside by the left pad of Spencer Hunnam, sticking with it. Now to shoot. Looking for some better puck luck this time is superstar Peyton Bateman. He can shoot, pass. Sure, he can deke too, but which one does he choose? Comes in, down the middle, fakes the shot, goes 5-hole, but Murphy not fooled by the move. The wave of the wand from Bateman. Murphy was not biting on it one bit. Ashton Romanuk. Been dangerous every time he's touched the puck this season on the network. Goes in from the left. Cuts to the middle. Now he goes 5-0, but once again, Spencer Hunnam not making the first move first on these shooters. Staying with it. And taking it away. Carson King. The game on his stick. He digs and scores! Sending Stonewall home with the victory in this early Sunday evening. The man who started off the scoring in this one had his chances in overtime, thought maybe he'd end it there. It took until the third shooter of a shootout for us to conclude this one in a game that started late and ended late from the Stonewall Veterans Memorial Sports Complex, Stonewall, Manitoba. The final this afternoon, 3-2 in favor of the Jets. As this is our post-game show now, ladies and gentlemen. As both teams make their way off of the ice, shots were 38-34 in favor of Stonewall. Both teams had their chances in that overtime. You can see both teams kind of got nervous with the puck. There were some nervous moments. Both goaltenders played great in this game today, to be honest with you. When we talk about the number of big saves they had to make throughout this game, the concentration was very impressive to see. But yeah, you know, penalty trouble was like when the Canucks got into penalty trouble, their penalty kill, especially in OT, looked very strong. And yeah, I still think that, you know, it kind of did cost them in a way because of that second goal that was scored from Stonewall. They generated all that momentum off of a really dominant power play setup. And for Stonewall, I mean, in this one, you got to give this team credit. You got to give them credit in this one, too, for, you know, continuing to up their play as St. James up theirs. Griffin Height with some magic to send this one to OT late in the game, but it just wasn't meant to be for St. James. And I think for them, you got to like the way that this team played today. You definitely got to build off of this game. You didn't even have your best player in the lineup again in Rory Neal, who should be back soon as he's golfing with the University of Manitoba Bisons golf team this year. But once they start to get him back and they start working into their, you know, play and what they want to get done more so, I think that St. James should be all right. Still some really good talent on this team and proving that they could get better and better as the game went along. Connor Murphy was great today, like I said. Spencer Hunnam as well. Back to Stonewall, though, like I'm really impressed with this team, especially their top-end talent. Bateman and Emberley, what a duo they are. Carson King is a top-end goal scorer, too. Kaczorowski looked great today. Like, this team has a lot of good pieces up front, some good pieces on the back end. First time I've seen Spencer Hunnam today, he looked pretty solid. And like I said, even though this team failed to score on the power play, some really good work and generating some good momentum on those man advantage chances. We're going to get into our players of the game for this afternoon, starting off with the losing side. St. James Junior Canucks. We're going to go with Griffin Height. Sent it to OT in this game. I thought Griffin was making plays all night long, or all afternoon long, and finally got rewarded with his hard work. Played a good two-way game as well, as he came back hard on the back checks. So he's your player of the game for St. James. As for Stonewall, going to give it to number 11, Alex Kaczorowski. Scoring the second goal of this game, once again, a force on the forecheck. His motor was running 200 feet both ways in this game this afternoon, and just such a good puck possession player at maintaining possession, protecting that, taking the beats along the boards, and getting out of that and making plays still. I thought he was excellent, and he gets player of the night tonight for Stonewall, scoring a goal in this one, of course. Yeah. Both of these teams will be back in action coming up next week, as games won't be played until Thursday. That one will be St. Vital versus St. Boniface at the St. Vital Centennial Arena. We'll have coverage here on G Show Productions. Our pregame show will start just after 7:20 p.m. for that one. Puck drops at 7:30. As for the rest of the league, we've already updated you on the Vicks and the Raiders winning. Raiders beating Charleswood, so Charleswood no longer undefeated. Raiders getting a much-needed win here early in the season. Stonewall, not allowing for St. James to break that trend of teams that still have yet to have a win. St. James is still 0-4 as they're 0-3-1, getting a point, their first point of the season. But the Riels improved to 4-0, 5-1 win over Pembina Valley. Only game to get going left tonight will be River East versus Fort Garry. The Twins heading to Terry Sawchuck to face off against the Royal Knights. As for these two teams, the St. James Junior Canucks will be back at home next Friday night to take on the River East Royal Knights at the St. James Civic Center, and Stonewall will be taking a trip out to Morris, Manitoba to battle against the Pembina Valley Twisters. Want to thank you for tuning in to MMJHL Game Day this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I know it was a bumpy ride at times, but thanks for choosing us and continuing to support us in Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League here on the network. As well as a special thanks to our sponsors in Make Cannon Fasteners and Tools, Terraco, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, and Goaltenders for continuing to support us and the coverage of Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League hockey here on the network. What a thriller this one was. Late game drama at the end of it. St. James still searches for their first win of the season. They get their first point of the year. An extra time loss. Stonewall improves to 3-1. Both teams get a rest and then back in action on Friday. Good night, everybody. Have a great, wonderful rest of your weekend and Sunday. And for MMJHL Game Day, I've been your host, Graham the G Show, Forsyth. Jets win 3-2 in OT. Good night, everybody.